10 huge EastEnders spoilers for next week from 5 to 8 May. What's coming up in Walford? 1. Peter checks out. On the day of Lauren and Peter's engagement party, the couple arrive for their last checkup with the midwife. However, when the conversation turns to potential birth complications, Lauren can't help but feel concerned. At the same time, Peter appears to be distracted and leaves the appointment to take a phone call, which infuriates Lauren. With the birth of their baby presumably just around the corner, can the two lovers hold it together? 2. Zack issues a threat. As Zack struggles with his secret, while Vicky urges him to stay out of the Mitchell family drama, ignoring her advice, Zack confronts Nicola with a threat. Will he regret his actions? 3. Cindy returns home. When a problem hits the Albert, Kathy relocates Lauren and Peter's engagement party to Harry's barn. Gina tries to help by involving Mo, Jean, and Nigel, but quickly realizes they're not up to the task. Lauren feels anxious at the party, and Ian's careless comment drives her to take a break. Kathy encourages her to return, but things take a turn when Cindy unexpectedly arrives. 4. Harry struggles to cope. At the Archers, Harry wakes up with a nasty hangover. Afterwards, Billy spots his struggling nephew and brings him to Walford East for a chat. The outing takes a turn for worse, though when Teddy arrives at the restaurant, later, Billy tries to make amends with Harry while in the cafe. How will the Mitchell family cope with their inner turmoil? 5. Ross causes upset, having settled in Walford. Vicky and Ross decide that it's time that they both find a job. However, it becomes clear that Ross is more preoccupied with Joel's fixation with his phone than on the job search. Vicky notices Ross is upset and tries to help, but it only makes him more annoyed, leading him to reject her support. She walks away, though they make up later, raising questions about the strength of their relationship. 6. Gina grows suspicious. Nicola tries to track down Harry by stopping Gina on the square. Later, Gina meets Jay for a drink, but they're interrupted by a drunk Harry. Concerned, Jay alerts Nicola and Teddy, who then join forces to help their son. However, Gina notices the family's efforts and suspects there's more to the situation. She confronts Harry, but he refuses to reveal anything. Son 7. Harvey extends an invite to Kathy seeks support from Harvey at the Slater home, but Jean interrupts. Kathy quickly creates a cover story, while Jean is more concerned about Nigel than Kathy's situation. Later, Harvey invites Kathy on a caravan trip, but Jean finds the brochure before they can leave. The Slaters think the plans are for them, but how long can Harvey maintain his lie? 8. Lauren goes into labour. Cindy's dramatic return shocks the guests at Harry's barn. Peter tries to calm things, but Lauren refuses to play along. She demands Peter choose between her and Cindy. As a result, the Beale family rejects Cindy again, but she strikes back by exposing the truth about Kathy. Cindy then goes to visit Lauren, only to find her fiancé in labour. Later in the week, Cindy takes action when she realises that the ambulance for Lauren is delayed, while Chelsea informs Peter about his girlfriend's condition. 9. Vicky stands her ground, in a moment of honesty. Ross comes clean to Vicky about their debt and the real reason that they had to flee Australia. The unexpected news shocks Vicky, and she leaves Ross to stew over his confession. The next day, Ross extends an olive branch to his partner, but Vicky makes it clear that she's not prepared to forgive and forget that easily. Could it be over for the couple? 10. The Vic reopens. On the 80th anniversary of VE Day, Nigel feels excited to celebrate the important milestone, but unfortunately, it soon becomes clear that he believes that he is living in the year 1995. Meanwhile, John and Phil ready themselves to have a word with Nigel, but Jean fails to go through with her plan. Instead, the Slater lady asks Phil to help her throw a last-minute party. Thereafter, Jean convinces Big Mo to celebrate with her, but Linda remains adamant that the Vic is closed for now. However, the Carter matriarch changes her mind once she spots the market traders revelling in community spirit. In the following scenes, Walford residents come together to pay tribute to their fallen neighbours, including the late Martin Fowler. As the Vic flings open its doors, what can we expect from the new era of the iconic pub?
Các bạn vừa theo dõi một sản phẩm của EastEnders Spoiler TV. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại các bạn.